At 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. The caller ID showed my name. Not unknown, not no caller ID, my full name. I stared at the screen, waiting for it to stop. It didn't. Then the voicemail notification appeared. I never answered. I wish I had. In 2019, I moved into a small rental house in Iowa. Quiet neighborhood, tree-lined streets, the kind of place when nothing ever happens. I was recovering from burnout and insomnia. My therapist told me isolation would help. The house had one strange rule from the landlord. The landline is disconnected. Don't plug anything into it. There was a landline phone mounted on the kitchen wall. Old, beige, dusty. I laughed it off. The first week was peaceful. Too peaceful. No traffic noise, no neighbors talking, just silence. At night, the silence felt thick, like pressure. Then the calls started. The phone rang at 2:17 a.m. I checked my cell phone. Caller ID, me. I didn't answer. The voicemail was 23 seconds long. I played it. At first, static, then breathing. Then my voice whispered, "You forgot something." I dropped the phone. I checked my call log. No outgoing calls, no spoofing apps, no hacks. I told myself it was stress. Hallucinations happen with insomnia. That night, I unplugged the landline from the wall. The next night, the phone rang again, but this time, it rang from the kitchen wall phone, the unplugged phone. I stood frozen in my bedroom. It rang 6 times, stopped, then rang again. I didn't move. The next morning, there was a voicemail from my number. The message, "You always do this. You pretend you don't remember." I noticed something terrifying. The voice sounded like me, but calmer, older, certain, like someone who had already lived my life. I started finding things out of place, a coffee mug I didn't own, mud on my shoes, a receipt from a gas station 40 miles away. Security camera footage showed me leaving the house at night. I had no memory of it. Then came the longest voicemail. "You asked me to remind you. You said if I didn't, you'd do it again." Again? I called my therapist. She asked one question that made my blood run cold. "Have you ever been diagnosed with dissociative episodes?" I hung up. That night, the phone rang earlier, 1:11 a.m. I answered. No static, no delay, just me. "You're getting close," the voice said. I asked who he was. He laughed softly. "I'm the part of you that remembers." He told me about a car accident 3 years earlier. A man died. I was responsible. I never faced it. My mind split instead. He said the calls were my idea. "You said fear is the only thing that makes you listen." Then he said, "Check the basement." In the basement, behind a storage shelf, I found a locked freezer. Inside, newspapers, police reports, photos, my handwriting. A note on top. "If you're reading this, it means I failed again." I remembered everything. The accident, the cover-up, the guilt. The house wasn't random. I rented it because it was close to where it happened. The phone rang one last time. The final voicemail came after I moved out, after therapy, after medication, after I thought it was over. It said, "You don't need me anymore, but I'll always be here." My phone rang. Caller ID, me. I never believed in ghosts, never believed in curses, never believed in the things that go bump in the night. Until I moved into apartment 7C in Detroit. It was cheap, cleanish, quiet. The perfect place to finally live alone. On the first night, I heard it. A voice, whispering. Not from outside, not from the neighbors, from inside the walls. Whispering, "Welcome back." I froze, and I realized I wasn't alone. The landlord handed me the keys and said, "Some tenants hear things. Just ignore them." I laughed. The apartment was old, with creaking floors and peeling wallpaper. Everything seemed normal, until the first night. At exactly 2:17 a.m., I heard a soft knock. Tap, tap, tap. Then a whisper. "Why are you here?" I called my friend Mark to stay over. He heard nothing. I knew then the apartment was targeting me, and only me. The next few nights, the whispers grew louder. They said my name. They repeated things I had never spoken aloud. Even my thoughts, somehow. Objects began moving, lights flickered, doors I had locked were suddenly open. It was not a dream. It was not fatigue. Something knew me better than I knew myself. Every night, the apartment changed. The walls seemed to breathe. Shadows moved in ways that defied physics. And the voice, it started to communicate directly, whispering, "You made me. I am you." I set up cameras, trying to catch what was happening. When I played the footage back, I wasn't speaking, but my voice was there, saying things I never said aloud. It learned my routines. It predicted my actions, pouring water, unlocking the door, picking up the phone. If I ignored it, the whispers became louder, more aggressive, whispering, "Stop ignoring me." The apartment became a cage, a predator that knew my every move. Then I noticed mirrors. Every mirror reflected someone else standing behind me. Not always the same person, but always me. Sometimes it smiled. Sometimes it mimicked my actions exactly. Sometimes it whispered secrets I hadn't shared with anyone. I avoided mirrors, covered them with sheets, tried to leave the apartment. But no matter where I went, I felt eyes. "You can't escape. You belong here." I realized the apartment was alive. It was feeding on me. One night, scratching inside the walls woke me. I tore open drywall. Nothing. But then I heard it. "Stop hiding. I see you." I found writings appearing overnight, on mirrors, on walls, on paper left on the floor. Everything I had feared, everything I had hidden, written in my own handwriting. It whispered constantly now, not just at night, during the day, in the silence. "You can't leave. You made me. I am you." Objects moved on their own. Lights flickered with the whispering rhythm. Doors slammed without wind. By the fourth week, I stopped sleeping, stopped eating properly, stopped looking anywhere but the floor. Desperate, I tore apart the apartment, every wall, every corner, every mirror. Behind a section of drywall, I found a hollow cavity. Inside, a voice recorder. It played my own voice, whispering things I had never said aloud. And on the recorder, in my handwriting, "I'll never leave you alone." The whispers escalated to screaming, "You can't escape. You belong to me." I blacked out. When I woke, the apartment was silent. I moved out immediately. The landlord denied everything. No cameras, no recorders, no footprints. But even years later, sometimes in quiet apartments, in hotel rooms, or when I'm alone, I hear it. A whisper from somewhere I cannot see. "You forgot something. You'll be back." I never stay in one place too long anymore. I never look at mirrors without fear. And I never forget the apartment that knew me better than I knew myself.